The NCAA is adding a new rule for agents who want to represent athletes trying to enter the NBA draft. The rule requires agents to have a bachelor's degree in order to represent a college player. This is interesting since LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, does not have one. The news prompted LeBron and others to call it the, quote, Rich Paul rule. LeBron then tweeted a lot of laughing emojis and wrote, "Can't stop, won't stop. They big, mad, and scared. Nothing will stop this movement and culture over here. Sorry, not sorry." Loves the emojis, LeBron. Shannon, what is your reaction?
LeBron is right. Skip, we know why this rule was in place. And once Rich Paul became an outspoken critic of the NCAA, Skip, he became in their crosshairs. Last year, he says, we're talking about a system here that has been broken for a long time, and these kids and their families need option. And for me, I come from the athlete side where I'm always trying to find out, how do I do what's best for the athlete? An agent obligation, Skip, is to do what is in the best interest for the athlete. The NCAA, for the longest time, all time, since it's been the NCAA, has always done what's best for the NCAA. And anytime you take kids, can you imagine had Zion Williamson or R.J. Barrett taken these options? How much money did these kids make for, say, Duke, for the NCAA during the tournament? Do you think they made, okay, let's just say, what does it cost to go to undergrad at Duke? 50 grand a year?
Probably.
I would go conservative. I'm going to say 65. Do you think R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson made Duke University $65,000? Do you believe they made the NCAA $65,000? I would say yes. Yeah. But when Rich Paul took the kid, Basley, I think his name is, and he got an internship with New Balance overseas for $1 million,
he did.
Now these guys have options. So how do I make it? Because I don't want this thing to copycat, because, Skip, I see one guy do it now. He got $1 million. Okay, that might be an option. I might get $2 million. How do I make sure that I can prevent Rich from doing this? He doesn't have a degree. So if you don't have, Skip, that's a non-starter right there. If you don't have a degree, you can't do this. See, no one had a problem when David Falk, I don't know if David Falk Skip, he had everybody. You know that. When he got Michael Jordan.
Once upon a time, he had everybody.
He had everybody. If you had a name and you played in the NBA, you signed with him. And all these guys, nobody had a problem with it. Now Rich Paul, young black guy, doesn't have a college degree, but he got certified. The Players Association said all you need is a certification, and then you can be a representative for a player. But that's not good enough, because now he has LeBron and AD, and he just got Draymond $100 million, and John Wall. He got all these guys, Skip, and he took this. Skip, this is one time that a guy says, you know what, well, it's not the first time, but what he did is that he empowered the guy, and he gave him an option. He said, now you can go to the NCAA and play for free and make them $1 million, or you can put $1 million in your bank account and help your mom and dad or whomever in your family. And then we'll turn around and we'll apply for the draft in the following year. Well, he goes in the first round. I think he went to Denver 23, 25th, something like that, Skip. Skip, we know what this is about. Every time the bruh man tried to get ahead, somebody will put, ain't no somebody, we know who it is. Mr. Charlie will put a block up that says, nah, you doing too well, and we don't like it. That's true. All this is about, Skip Bayless. For no other reason. This doesn't have anything to do with the kids. Skip, they make it seem like athletes is the only profession that you can fail in. They make it seem like if you go to Harvard Medical School, all those guys become top-night surgeons, and they either work at Johns Hopkins, Mass General, or the Houston Clinic. No! You act like you get a finance degree, everybody goes to J.P. Morgan or something and succeed. Only athletes. Skip, these NBA teams don't have to take these young guys that's coming out. Because remember, Skip, when they put that in, oh, we're trying to save the player. Skip, you don't have to take a guy out of high school. You make a choice. Just like a law firm doesn't have to take a guy out of Harvard. They make a choice. Whether he succeed or fail is based solely on the individual. And this is a shame that the NCAA stooped to this level.
It is. I can't tell you how much I agreed with every point you just made, to the point that, for me, yesterday was LeBron James at his greatest, because it's not easy to do what he did yesterday. It takes guts, it takes clout, it takes risk factor, because there are a whole lot of folks out there who love dear old you and college athletics, college football, college basketball, right?
Right.
College football Saturdays, March Madness.
Okay.
So LeBron took that on, and he's been taking it on for a while because back last February, he flat out said at a shoot-around when he was asked about the FBI investigations of the NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
He said, the NCAA is corrupt. We know that. Sorry, it's going to make headlines, but it is corrupt. Whew. LeBron James said that. And there's some shockwaves because a close friend of LeBron's who runs Clutch Sports for LeBron is Rich Paul. And when I read this yesterday, the first thing I thought of was, gee, wait a minute, you're putting an educational requirement on an agent? That's, my first thought was, that's an undertone of racism.
Yeah.
And then I thought, wait a second, that's an overtone of racism, right?
Yeah.
It's an overtone. It just screams.
That is a dog whistle, Skip. That's a bullhorn.
That's a bullhorn.
Yeah.
What?
It's horrible.
Really? You're trying to tell me that Rich Paul isn't as qualified, isn't as savvy, isn't as experienced as somebody who got a BA, you know?
Yeah.
Stop it. I've had my issues with Rich Paul, the kingmaker, as he was called in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
But hey, when it comes to knowing the business,
Right.
to being the king of agents,
Right.
no, he's at the top of my list.
Right.
If I wanted to go, if I had to pick a sports agent to be my agent, I'd want Rich to be my agent.
Exactly. Skip,
Right?
what they're trying to do, they're trying to make it seem like, well, we're going to protect the kids from shady agents.
Yep.
But if you go back through the history of time, if you look at the guys, the athletes, baseball, football, basketball, whatever the sport may be, and you look at the guys that's been taken advantage of, most of those guys got plaques hanging on the wall, graduated of MIT, graduated of Harvard, graduated of this school, graduated of that school.
That is true. No.
But this is not about this is about protecting your brand, which is the NCAA, and making sure we still have this pipeline of college athletes and no one gets to bypass us and take money out of our pockets. This has nothing to do with no educational skills.
No.
This has everything to do with what Rich Paul has been able to do, and they're upset about it.
Now we're back to my biggest problem with both college basketball and college football. Let's start with college basketball. One and done. Somehow you are required to play 1 year of college basketball when clearly a Zion, let's take, for instance, could have gone straight to the NBA and probably been pretty good last year as an NBA player, right?
Yeah.
It's unconstitutional to make him go to Duke for a year.
Yes.
It's just wrong.
Right.
And we saw what Ben Simmons did. He comes from Australia. Wait a minute. You're telling me I have to go somewhere? I have to go to LSU?
I go piddle around down there for a little while.
So I'll go down there and I'll just mail it in.
Right.
Yeah, it's
I watched all those Ben Simmons games. He's like not even into it. He just goes stand over on the wing and watches 4 teammates play basketball.
Kevin Durant. So what did Kevin Durant, besides winning Naismith Player of the Year, what did Kevin Durant get out of college, Skip?
I don't know. He got a fun year in Austin, Texas.
Exactly.
Which is a great town.
They did retire his jersey. That's all in good. But all you did was inhibit the man from making millions a lot earlier than what he would have.
You did. It's just flat out wrong. And it's going to be very interesting if Bronny comes of age, you know, he's going to get through high school. The one and done it looks like it's still got a couple to 3 years more to run.
Which will be around the time he'll be, I think, Bronny is what, 8th grade? So
he's going into 9th.
Yeah. So we're like 3 or 4 years away. So maybe by then, it'll be, the one and done will be done with.
Will he be good enough to go straight into pro basketball? Maybe if LeBron would like to try to play 1 year with his son, maybe.
Well, I think in this situation, LeBron understands if he believes his son and Bronny and Junior believe that he's good enough, Bron's going to do the right thing by the kid.
Yeah.
Although he wants it to be able to say, you know what, the Crean Griffey senior and junior thing, Skip, playing on the same team, that was phenomenal. But if he's not ready, LeBron is not going to force the issue. LeBron is too good of a dad. Just says, you know what,
I agree
to
with
be
that.
selfish, I want this to happen, so I'm going to buy skirt. No matter how he feels about the NCAA, but he made it abundantly clear. If they'd had that rule in, me and my mama weren't going to be poor anymore. I don't know where I was going. He said he was going to Ohio State, but we weren't going to be poor anymore.
Okay, all right. And he got in under the wire. You know, he got to go straight into the NBA.
Correct.
Now we get to college football, sport you cover.
Sure.
Talk about unconstitutional. Now you force these kids to stay for at least 3 years. 3 years. And you know, running backs, we just talked about running backs transition fastest.
Yes.
We can go back to Claret's situation. Could he have gone straight from high school and played fairly high-level pro football? Yeah.
You know, the running back that I believe that could have done that, Skip, that I've seen say in the last 15 years was probably Adrian Peterson.
Okay, I'll buy that one, too. I watched him at his freshman year at Oklahoma.
If he couldn't have done it his freshman year, he was definitely ready to go after his freshman year.
Now, would there be some tragic stories where kids would try and fail? You better believe there would be. That's America. It happens every day.
People are like, Skip, every time someone opens a business, it doesn't become Google, Apple, or Microsoft.
No.
Businesses fail all the time. Well, that's what an athlete is. He is a business. And sometimes they make it and go big like LeBron James, and then sometimes they get swept away. But that's not an agent's fault. That's not.
That's their decision.
That's a decision that you
Should
made.
be theirs.
Just like if you open up a business.
Yeah.
We have a free market economy.
Well, we're supposed to have that.
We're supposed to, but the essence of it is that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
The foundation of it is supposed to be that. So you have the opportunity to succeed or fail.
That should be
kids.
But that should be your decision.
Yep.
Not NCAA, not NBA or NFL. That should be an individual decision. If I succeed, I did it my way. If I fail, you know, hey, I thought I was ready. Clearly, I wasn't ready. You move on.
Okay.
But this is ridiculous. I don't know who they think. And then, Skip, this is what you got to do. Okay, you get the bachelor's, and now you got to come to Indy, and you got to take a test at the NCAA. You know what I would do? I would go get me. You know what? I would go, and I'm gonna take the test. And when they say time's up, you know what I draw on my paper?
What?
The middle finger. I said, did I pass? Did I pass the test, y'all? I need to know.
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
Don't they have to interview you also and pass?
And then, Skip, if there's an investigation, even if you're not in the center of the investigation, you got to cooperate.
Aha.
That ain't dry snitching on nobody. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Why am I talking about somebody else, what they did? That's your issue. You deal with it.
So I applaud LeBron James for turning up the heat on this issue.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
was bold from him, and hopefully the conversation will continue now with this from LeBron, because it feels like this is just the beginning of something that will be talked about.
I hope like 15 guys go with Rich Paul.
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's what he gonna do. They gonna drive guys. They don't really.
Could go in the reverse
It's gonna have
direction.
the adverse effect of what they think is gonna happen.
Good.
You never know. Okay, next up, if you